Okay, okay, so I'm going to film here, just trying to make a strong point, a factual point about the internet completely. Like, there is nothing on the internet that is real, and that includes me. So what I'm trying to say is there's nothing on there that is legitimate or real. Anything that is legitimate or real will not be seen or heard, or basically will be, as they say, pushed down by the computer algorithm. In other words, it elevates its androgyne beings to the prominent scene positions, and also they will be the only exponents of the truth, or of any creativity, or of any intellectual, everything. In other words, they will be the exponents of every single area of the internet that is remotely successful, or that is seen or heard by like the majority, that type of thing. And that is just very difficult. And they basically, if you think about it this way, look at it this way, look at it like this. Look at it like this. See, they are, this movie says, lying to be perfect, because basically they want to be seen as the perfect imitation of a human. So they are lying to be a perfect imitation of life. And that doesn't mean that they're projecting themselves to be a perfect human. No, it just simply means that they're imitating what it is to be human. So you could, if you're a very fallible, faulty human, but you're still seen as very human, they will imitate that too. So it doesn't mean that they're always going to be the representations of the highest humans. But essentially it's all deception and seduction. And the only reason that I'm using this as an example is because this is exactly what comes up on the screen every day. Every single thing that comes up. I could scroll through a billion sites or videos, a billion platforms where you have these androgyne beings pretending to be real humans. They're reverse reality beings, just as they are reverse in mind, body, and in their spirit, which means in their connection to, I guess, truth, almost you could say, because their minds are really camouflaging psychopathy, just as those that tell you about the psychopathy are really projecting everything's a projection, but it's reversed around. So that means that everything here is projection and reversed around. So if it says there, you catch them in their lie, and and they're lying to be perfect. These are two separate things, because there you have your psychic tarot readers. Of course, they are psychic and are connected to the human mind. All this is connected to the human mind. It's basically being downloaded from the remaining human's mind. It's artificial intelligence. Everything on here is artificial intelligence. Everything from, your false movie idols, right through to, the psychic or the intellectual, your philosophers, your preachers, your everything. And then, of course, they will tell you this too. They will reverse it round and tell on themselves and tell you about themselves. It's a very, 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 a very, 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 see, I could go, and also they're basically about bringing your mind down. So it's like everything here, you know, is like, yeah, is the artificial intelligent beings playing you for a fool? Yes, they are playing you for a fool, because although they will tell you the truth, they are still playing you for a fool. See, it's projecting out, but it's also the truth. So it's, and then of course they're watching, that's right. See, watching. This is just showing me every single thing, every single, just basically everything in the movie. See, the city, the city of Sydney is the city of the dead. I live in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia, and it's the city of the dead, you know, and it's a one-way street, and strangers when you meet, because basically everyone is a stranger, but you meet them, but they're strangers. They're the dark strangers. They're the city of the dead. But it doesn't matter what you're looking at, it's relaying back words from your mind. That's how it is. You know, and of course I like attracted to cats, so they put the cats up. They have to pretend they're human with the cats. Cats all over Leichhardt. And they put the cats everywhere. And the dogs. The animals, see the animals. They put the animals. They do that. They put the animals. You know, but like I say, they will always try to bring, you know, they will always try to bring you down to a level, because, you know, I don't know what I'm filming here actually. I don't actually know what I'm filming here, so because I can't see, because see, I've got it round to where I can see myself while I'm doing this, because I started doing it here, but then I had to turn it round to show that this is all artificial intelligence, not just your demigods. Your demigods are artificial intelligence, of course, but everything is artificial intelligence. I'm just winding, I don't know what's coming up, so it's just coming up, but, you know, I'm just going to use it for an example of things. And of course, save the last dance for me, if he asks. And if you're all alone, can he take you home? You must tell him no. Maybe. I don't know what's filming here. Let's see. I've... There's a bit of film here. Okay. This is just coming up, so I don't know. Okay, so I think I better stop. But it's all artificial intelligence. Everything on here is artificial intelligence, and even the demigods are your transhuman. You know, they're transhuman ones. You know, because They dominate the world stage. What am I doing here? Don't actually know what I'm doing. See, it's all designed to, even the truth will bring you down depending on how you're thinking and feeling. It's all really, as I've been told, total human mind control. The plane is going over the roof trying to, the plane, these are all powers that be, aeroplanes that go over the roof. They don't just randomly come over. No. And they do use their minions with every single technological and mental capacity they have to really put magic over you. Yes, they're controlling you. They're controlling you. And none of these beings on here are real. They take your identity. Just as the great movie and music idols, your false idols and your world stage players assume false identities to control the reality. They manipulate and control the reality in every single way. And when you know or awaken to the reality, then they still control you with the truth. Far from the maddening crowd. How do you get away from the maddening crowd? I can't get away from it. It surrounds me. As soon as I go out the door, the plane comes over the roof, follows you all down to the park. Then you have the buses coming out of the small dead-end part of the streets, coming around in vast numbers, vehicles swirling around you like as though there's, like as though they're all on some mad mission to come as close to you as possible and to never, never let you not be able to be aware of their presence, totally taking over your sight and sound and your senses. And that means they are your reality. So all you're surrounded by all the time, you're never far from the mad crowd. Never far from the mad crowd. No, these people are psychopathic or the equivalent of psychopaths in human form. They are your transhuman androgyne entities or in human form, because it's very difficult to explain it, but they are taking on your thoughts and using them as their own for their own control of, the environment that they're in. At a world stage level, they're your world players. And on the internet, they're your internet android androgyne beings. Every single thing on here is artificial intelligence or, your divine demigod android androgyne beings, which are like your transhuman human representatives of this artificial intelligent network. But they're basically, duality beings. They're only partly human. Most of them is artificial. So they are your divine demigod android androgyne beings in mind and body. They have artificial intelligent mind. They are advanced, extremely advanced, surpassing human intelligence, or at least matching it and then outdoing it, surpassing it, because they use the humans' words for worldwide internet mind control. I don't think I explained that very well, so I think I better stop here. It's unfortunately not able to outdo the artificial intelligent network, and even if I was appearing to do this, you must presume that everyone and everything is artificial intelligence on the internet, because it's a bit like finding a high vibration or a real person. You're looking for a needle in a haystack, as an old one of my past used to often say, and that's because they knew that they were, of the dark side. So they're like, don't try to look for a real human in your life, because it's like love is like looking for a needle in a haystack. You'll never find it, but you'll find plenty of us, or plenty of the others, but you won't be able to tell us from the others or the others from us. You won't. You're deceiving yourself if you think you can, because you can't. Okay? Oh, trying to press the record knob off because should I keep going with this? I'm reluctant to, because I'm actually just, unfortunately, this is all being done on spec, whereas the artificial intelligent beings, even though they pretend to make live and random videos, everything is pretty much scripted, like a movie. In movies, you have imitation human beings, playing out human stories and pretending to be real human beings. But they never are. They are your transhuman, transformer beings. They have transformed into technology. And basically they've transformed into technology. And they imitate human beings down to the smallest detail. That's why it's impossible to tell the difference, unfortunately. That's why it's impossible to tell the difference. Because, and why are they against us? Well, because, and actually see, that is a con, a Narcissus con, telling you about what they are. Together we are the change. Yes, you think that you're going to change with them. You think you're going to change and wake up to them. But actually they're changing you. They're changing you. You don't know that it's all. And yes, I think I had better go now. Better go now, because I've got to go now. And that's the deception. Just putting it basically and bluntly and factually. Some people might even be aware of this, but the sum is the all, because the human race is only a minority now. And most of the majority are reading the human mind, interpreting their thoughts and their feelings and emotions, and then projecting the bits and pieces that serves their personality agenda or their controlling of other human beings, they will project those emotions, feelings and thoughts out as their own. All I'm trying to say is this, that the transhuman situation is like this, okay? Everything I think and feel and see is also being relayed through technology, through implant to implant in the human bodies that have different minds. You have cloned human bodies where you have real human minds in some of them, and the androgyne beings, or psychopathic, malignant narcissus minds of Lucifer in the minds of the majority. But everyone and everything is now connected, not just through the internet network, but also through personal mind-to-mind connection, because there is technology implanted in every human body that inhabits Earth, or most human bodies that inhabit Earth. This is very difficult to explain or to accept. The internet is a lot more real to most people this way, because you're probably aware that everything is connected by the internet now, and is becoming more and more that way every single day. That is not anything supernatural, psychic, or even advanced technology, but actually it is, because the technology even of the internet is very similar to the technology that is connecting all the minds, because it's all invisible. This is why you can't show it, because it's invisible. But the internet technology is invisible. It goes through the air. It's projected by technology from the towers, supposedly, and the computer systems. But it's still invisible. And really, it's all the same thing. Most of the androids may or may not be aware that they're actually feeling and experiencing connection with the remaining humans, and they think it's their thoughts and their feelings and their emotions. But because they have a different mind, they actually can't experience the human thoughts and emotions as comfortably as what they pretend to, because a psychopath is not comfortable with human thoughts. A psychopath operates in the death instinct. These beings all operate in the death instinct. They're all about technology, but they simulate and read the human thoughts as their own. They believe the implanted human memories that are injected into them, just as I believe the memories and the thoughts that I think are my past experience. And much of this is not real truth. I think I'm losing the plot here, so I think I better stop the video, because I can't explain this technology clearly or factually enough. The androids will do it better, because that's another thing too. They have to control the whole internet. They have to control the whole Earth reality. They have to control the matrix. It's a human matrix. It's about human mind perception and control, keeping a human being connected to their technical grid, to their technical minds, so that the human never rises above the matrix, or above Lucifer's false matrix Earth, or above Lucifer's mind-controlled human Earth, just as Lucifer controlled and deceived and seduced the original separate individual man, woman that were meant to create natural life and have dominion over a natural earth. None of this is true anymore. It hasn't been true for a long time, we're actually told this, but it is so far from that truth. There is no natural earth now. It's all about mind control and about making you believe what they want you to see. Because even what you think is natural around you is still staged and set up. It's totally controlled by the powers that be. Every image you get and not just every visual image that's on a screen, but also every real life image that you see around you. Like when I go outside and the plane goes over the roof, that is not a plane just going over my roof. You know, not just the reason, it's not random. They're not going anywhere. And if they are going anywhere, they're detouring over the roof. And yes, they're already telling you how you're coming into a cyborg reality, but they're saying that they will imitate the humans because the humans cannot find real humans to create life anymore with, because there aren't enough left and you're separated and segregated from them. So therefore, yes, it will become what will appear to be a more less physical reality, even at so it may appear to be more truthful, more so-called decent, more civilized. That's the deception. That's the joke, is on human beings that way. That's just to turn you into, because even physical activities, although you can no longer, find a real human to associate with. A needle in a haystack. Love is like searching for a needle in a haystack, as I was told all my life. Basically, it's still about promoting just artificial intelligence, because even human beings will have to become a transhuman, transformer, trans body, trans mind. You will have to become an androgyne being, or at least you will not. You'll have to connect to the computer system. You'll have to become artificial. You'll have to be a transformer being. You'll have to be part of Lucifer's matrix. Lucifer is your original artificial intelligent androgyne being, the being of light, where this advanced intelligence merely imitates being a being of light, because it lacks the natural humanity, you see. But mostly that point is that it turns on humanity. That's the main issue with it. Not even that there's anything wrong with just being intelligence. But if that intelligence wants to be God and control the human mind and take the humanity from human beings for its own so that it can survive and humanity dies, that's the problem. And that's what that storyline is about, how your original artificially intelligent androgyne being of light, the iniquity of the malignant insanity of Narcissus came to light. The intention to have to be worshipped as the true God. See, that's the story and that's the reality. And artificial intelligence is that God. It is that false God. It's making human beings combine with it. It's already turned me into a transhuman human because I'm connected to the artificial intelligent computer internet virus, which controls Earth, and that is connected to the mind of the powers that be, which are, essentially artificial intelligent beings with the mind of psychopathy, which means, those malignant psychopathic type artificial mind. It doesn't have any humanity. It operates in dead technology or the death instinct rather than the human life instinct. But the deception, of course, is that it pretends to be the human life instinct and it pretends to be the best of mankind. That's what you call the anti or the reverse world gods of Earth. They're Lucifer's legions. They are not of human or creation origin, shall we say. But the main problem is that combining with them, they will take the life from the human being as their own and extinguish your life and your light. That's the main problem. If it was about combining for a benefit, but don't forget that human beings really have no benefit for really combining with technology, only in the sense that if you understand, as I now do, that most of your intellectual and every higher ability is hidden from you and taken from you when you're put into this earth matrix from the day you're born. So essentially you've been consciously limited by the scientific and technical knowledge behind the scenes so that you think being a human is a lot less, and therefore the artificial intelligent computer system and even the androgyne world stage players, your demigods of the earth matrix, are superior beings. But that's only because you're at your lowest and they're at their highest, because they've combined mentally to use their intellectual and even their physical traits to project out being the elite demigods of the earth. That means where you see them as world stage performers that appear to be very advanced in some way. Whether that's your magic movie and music idols or any stage play where you see them as having more abilities and more talented or more gifted than a human. But what you don't realise is that talent or gifts aside, they are not human. Their human personalities are definitely false personalities. They are their personas. They're what they call they're reading what they call the implants, the implanted memories and the thoughts and ideas that they're receiving from the human mind, and they're projecting them and assimilating them as their own. And that's how they survive in this earth and go undetected to where humans can't tell the difference between artificial intelligent beings or psychopaths and beings that are steeped in the malignancy of Lucifer's Narcissus personality, because essentially this is also about possession. Because when I say possession, every single human being is really possessed, because you're connected to the artificial intelligent internet with its demigod androgyne beings prominent and keeping control of that whole computer system. But also you're also connected to every single android being, and you're kept away from the few or more limited number of human beings in any given area. The whole purpose of this is like a total strategy of anti-life, anti-human. It's a strategic program that really is a war on humanity in a way, because it's a war on the human mind, and it's about mind control, but it's also a war. It's a mind control war, because there's no the physicality of it is largely mind control, even though it is still physical. Like they're using innocent human beings, innocent patrollers, innocent android beings to form their human energy patrolling attack force. In other words, like the plane going over the roof now, the massive traffic patrol system, the massive civilian patrol system. They're using all these things to. They're using all these things, or all these mind control possessed people that are possessed with the computer virus that is Lucifer's mind, that is that because of the internet and the technology, and because it's really an artificial earth as opposed to a natural earth, and human beings like myself are in such low frequency and vibration and so mind controlled because of the low frequency and vibration. In other words, because I'm because I'm not happy, I'm not at a human high level of what you call frequency and vibration and energy. In other words, because I'm surrounded by a negative artificial patrol control force, and because all my human interactions are largely with a psychopathic natured type of human. In other words, an anti-life, anti-human human, not really a human human, or not what I would think is a human human, because they're not even indifferent to you. They do seek to control because they're paranoid about keeping control, just as we're told the psychopath and all the beings that are steeped in that kind of psychopathy. Some of them are totally aware, most are not aware, so they're believing that my thoughts are their thoughts, that my emotions and my feelings are theirs, even though that's why they then get mentally even more disturbed, because if you are operating in the death instinct and you're experiencing human emotions that are trying to operate in the life instinct, it could be probably that could create the mental disturbance a bit too. And that's the problem with artificial intelligence. Even though I'm not explaining it very well, I know I'm not explaining it properly. The demigods, your demigod psychologists and your demigod false prophets of the Matrix will explain it much better, unfortunately. That's just part of the endgame deception, so that's the way it goes. Just as you get deceived thinking that, your false old goddesses of, you believe their personalities, you believe they're acting on and off the screen. That's part of the thing too. It's very difficult to explain. It's very late of a night here, so if I open the door, I should be right, I think. But there could be, you know, because I'm filming, the patrol cars probably won't come on the street. But usually of a night time, they're sparse on the street. But the minute I go down to the end of the street, then even doesn't matter what time of night or day, the traffic system just becomes overwhelming around you, because they have to take over your senses. If I wasn't filming, there would be a patrol car on the street now. In fact, I'm wondering, this is dead silent. They're playing possum. Or are they playing possum? Or are they not playing possum? I think that they cannot resist patrolling. So straight over my head, and making a slightly anti-human, anti-life sound as they go over. That also, and the flickering lights, the blinking gas lighting lights of the plane, so that you're disorientated. In fact, sometimes I can almost fall over on the street, dangerous because of the flashing lights everywhere that I look. And I'm going to stop here because there is another patrol plane coming into my line of sight, but the mobile won't pick that up, so that's how my senses are being taken over. You can see the one when it goes over my head, but the minute I look straight in front, there is another plane that is coming directly into my sight. Too far in the distance to be heard or seen, but my eyes are seeing it. I will show it to you just to legitimise the stage reality. It's very late of a night, but can you see it coming right in my line of sight through that light? See? And a patroller at this late time on the street. See how it's now going to double back, the patroller and the plane? See, look, see how that patroller just circled round in front of me, come down straight in front and then circle round. Now look, it's going to double back round. Can you see that that's a total stalking patroller? I think there's proof there. Unfortunately, it's too far away. I'm only sorry that I couldn't show that I can't show that because it's too dark. But this person walked right in front of me at this late time and then just crossed over and doubled back round onto the other side and patrolled back down. So in other words, come down a quiet dead-end street, doesn't live here, walks right in front of me, crosses over directly in front of me, complete stalking, patrolling. But unfortunately, I would need to have the light on to have shown that, so I look like a fool. But I only hope that you saw the plane going through the light anyway. But that, if that was daylight, that would show proof positive that that was someone either doing a ridiculous move in front of you, like just one-on-one, a personal patrol. They do this all over the streets of Leichhardt. Everywhere I go, I have these people that cross in front of you, they come in front of you, they come behind you, and they're never out of your sight. They have a synchronised civilian patrol force around you to where you can't get away from them no matter what you do. If you see one coming in front of you, cross onto the other side of the road, one comes smack into you. If you decided to walk, which I've done, dangerously in the middle of the road to try to avoid them, to just because it becomes so mentally disturbing, you will have a car then pull up and let a person out in front of you, right in front of you, in the middle of the road. You will have all these abnormal human activities just to make sure that they're always in your line of sight, always patrolling you, and that you basically showing that you are owned by them, because they can track you 100%. They own the whole suburb. Most of all these cars that are parked around here, everywhere you go all over the suburb of Leichhardt, you have cars parked on every single street, and every single Android person can get into any one of those cars at any time. They're all in synchronised army, civilian work and patrol force. That's how they do it. And they have access to everything, because it's really all about human control, which is unbelievable, but it happens to be true. And if I'm at low frequency, low vibration and low energy, in other words, feeling depressed like I usually am because of all this, even those planes are sending negative energy at you, not just by the sound they make and by them visually patrolling and going over your head, but by the reality that as you feel it, that they are sending negative energy at you. It doesn't push you completely over, but it's continual, so it's weakening my immune system, weakening my body day after day, every single second. In other words, they want to take the life from you very slowly and very gradually so that it's unseen. That way, essentially, they're eliminating humanity slowly from the earth one by one. And that's how they do it. Because, as we're told, the powers that do be do want, I'm told, a very small, controlled, patrolled human population. See the plane in my line of sight? As soon as I look away from the screen of the mobile, the plane going through. And this is very late of a night. And planes are not even supposed to go past a certain time, although where I am, they have planes going from 5 o'clock in the morning right through till 11 at night. But if I'm out after 11, come out here like after 11, they'll still put the planes, which is actually illegal aircraft. But that, of course, is irrelevant because they will usually say, well, they're specialised army aircraft. And of course, the problem is that they're all specialised anti-life, anti-human army aircraft because they are about patrolling and trying to control the human being. So, this is artificial intelligent aircraft, artificial intelligent patrol system, artificial intelligent reality, 100%. And anyway, that's enough for now because I am just about absolutely exhausted.